a 9th grade Algebra 1 class, and yes, that's it. Okay, today we are going to be learning about multiplying polynomials. I'm going to be teaching y'all a very easy, fun method called the FOIL method. I actually love this, so I hope y'all will too. If you can take one of these and pass it around, there's 2 sheets. Okay, the first 4 are a review from what we've been going over the past few days. And I'm just going to go ahead, we're going to do those together. Just as a little review, get our minds going. Okay, we know to start off what we're doing is we're multiplying, and when we have parentheses, we're going to distribute the number to both terms in the parentheses. We're going to multiply by this, and then we're going to multiply by this. So we have a 6b and a 2b. What's 6 times 2? 12. And then what do I do with the b? Squared. Yes. And then now what? 6 times 3? 18. And what do I do with the b? Just leave it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's our answer to that one. Y'all can do the other 3 for homework. We're gonna go ahead. I just wanted us to kind of remember what we've been learning and everything before we moved on to a harder concept. So now we're gonna do the FOIL method. And I'm gonna go ahead and teach y'all what FOIL stands for. Okay. We have Oh. Does anybody remember this from last year? Y'all should have gone over some of it. Okay. First, outside, inside, and last. This is very important to remember. This will help you out a lot, and it makes all of your work so much easier. We're going to go ahead and start with number 5. Which is our first one where we can implement the FOIL method. Okay, so what we're doing when we FOIL something out, we're multiplying these 2 terms together. So it's just like if this is a 5 and a 4, you're just multiplying them together, or an x and a y, but you just have more terms. So what we have to do when we have more terms is distribute, just like we did with our first one, but we had, instead of having 1 term times 2, we have 2 terms times 2. So to start with our FOIL, we do first terms first. So this is our first term, and this is our first term. So we multiply those together first. So 2 times 6, 12, and then our ends are squared. Then we go to our next point, outside. This is an outside term. That's an outside term. So we have our 2n times 1, which is what? 2n. 2n. And since this is a plus sign and this is a plus sign, all of our terms are going to be positive. Okay, so first, outside. Now we're going to go to the inside. This is 2 times 6n. And then last, our last terms. This is our last term and this is our last term. 2 times 1, 2. Okay. Now, this is the correct answer. This is right and fine and everything. But we see right here that we have 2 terms that have the same variable. Sorry. So we can go ahead and say 2n plus 12n, which is 14. And then so the rest of it you can just bring down. And then that should be your final answer. On a test, if you leave your answer in this form, I'm going to have to take off a point just because we want to get the most consolidated, the most simple answer that we can get. So this is what I'm looking for. Okay, do we want to do another one together and then I'll call y'all up and do them on the board? Do you think? Okay, let's do one more together. get the hang of it. Okay, let's do number 7 because it has negatives, so we can see how the negatives are going to affect. Okay, what's the first thing we're going to do, Tara?
First times first.
Right. First comes first. And y'all can draw these little rainbows if you want to in the beginning just to, keep track of which numbers you're doing at which time so you don't get confused. Because if you see you've already done those, you're not going to do them again and get confused. So we have 6x times 1x. 6x squared. Then, John, what are we going to do next?
You're going to do the x times the minus 2.
Okay, and why is that?
Because they're outside.
Outside, right. And look, we have a positive x and a negative 2. So we're going to make sure we keep our negative. And it's going to be a minus 2x. Okay, Maggie, what are we going to do next?
The inside terms. So you're going to multiply negative 3 times 6x.
Very good. So we keep our negative term, 18x. And then Claire?
And then you do the multiply the last two.
Okay.
So negative 3, negative 2.
Okay, what happens if you multiply a negative and a
It
negative?
becomes a positive.
Right. Okay. Again, this is correct. However, we want a more simplified version. So we're going to bring down our 6x squared. We have two terms that have the same variable. So, and they're both negative. So when you say a negative number minus a negative number, you what?
Negative.
Right, you add them. It's become negative 20x, and then just keep our 6. And that is the answer that I'll be looking for. Okay, now I'm going to have y'all come up and work them by yourself and show me that you can do them. Ask me any questions if you have questions. Remember your rule. Kathy, will you come up and do this one for me? There's a- Perfect. Okay, the only thing is, for this term, 1 times 2n, for this right here, 1 times 2.
Oh.
Yeah, you just added it. That's good.
And now we have to simplify.
Mhm. That's right. Very good. Okay, Laura, can I get you to do the next one? What's 6 times 8?
48.
48. Tara, can I get you to come up and do the next one?
Shonda likes math, so she's gonna be good at this.
There's some challenging words.
When I get in that high times table, I'm like.
Like, wait, what's an hour? You work for 6 hours.
Exactly, it's what that is.
Only 40. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, Claire, can you come up and do your turn? Yes, sorry. Okay, so, well, 21, for, wait, oh, no, yeah, sorry, here. Yeah, draw, if you want to, draw your, things just so that. All right, so you were right. Okay, Maggie, how you come up and do this one? Is everybody understanding? We're all getting it? Okay, good. If you have any questions, make sure to ask. Maggie likes math too. Very good, Maggie. Okay, John, can I get you to come in as well? Yes. Very good. All right, Tara, I'm going to get you to do number 13. Okay, let's look at number 13 first. If we see this, what does that mean?
2 of those.
Two of those. So you can write it out. That's the same thing as what you see on your paper, so don't get confused.